ladies and gentlemen, they just cannot stop talking about me. Rent free, baby. I exist in every... No, it doesn't. This is honestly such a nothing burger. But I did get linked this on my Discord. It's pretty funny. And what's going on? Lord of Mysteries subreddit. Guys, if you like the series, do not be like this kind of fan. And for the unemployed, for the people who are not chronically online, here's a little bit of context, right? So the context of this has to do with LN Historian's video. For those of you that's not aware of who LN Historian is, he's obviously made a video that is explaining how to get into debate, right? 3 days ago, we made a video, you know, we did a pre-farm. And a lot of people were very upset about that, especially in the subreddit, because there were visual spoilers that his editors put in, and a lot of other stuff that, to be fair, are spoilers, absolutely. Are they so egregious that it's going to ruin the first-time experience for a lot of people? No, most of them are going to be out-of-context stuff, but still spoilers nonetheless. A lot of people have been critical about it. Ever since then, we have been farming even more ones, and this is another one called LN History, Lord of Mysteries Drama is Crazy, and a schizo person basically came in saying, "We bullied this guy! This guy is cooked! We roasted him! LN Historian went back to his Discord to hide with his dick lasers." That is the context of this, and we're right now about to get a clip of that moment. Deep in the sauce, the way that you phrase the first statement. Man, by the way, I think that you are too deep in the sauce. Okay. The way that you phrase the first statement. Man, by the way, you're a brand new person in here. You're a literal tourist that just came in here. This is the message, right? You can kind of see, again, I don't care if you're right or not, right? The whole point of this is so unhinged behavior. Who talks like this? And said, we bullied Historian off Reddit and Discord. You guys act as if he is some sort of like Nazi. Whoa. As if he committed some sort of war crime. If anything, I think it makes you look so crazy. This makes you like, if your goal is to seem reasonable and basically prove that light novel historian is a disingenuous person, you need to be way more reasonable about this. And I think that's why I'm very appealing to a lot of people, right? Not specifically one side of ideology, but I'm always willing to give the benefit of the doubt and listen to what people have to say instead of immediately labeling them as some sort of like group ideology and then just like antagonize them. I will always give you the benefit of the doubt, listen to the ideas and the talking points and be like, you know what, maybe you're right. But like in this case, no matter how right you are, when you come in like this, acting and talking like this fucking schizo Discord mod, Reddit mod, who seems so jealous, like what are you doing, bro? That's why I'm saying this is such stupid behavior. And by the way, in this video this morning, right, LN Historian responded. It's actually crazy that we've already made 3 videos, and this is the 4th video that's coming off of a video that we haven't even seen, by the way. Do you understand the level of reactions that we're getting into right now? The level of like farming we're doing? We haven't even seen the LN Historian video about Lord of Mysteries. This is the 4th video talking about what's going on without even watching the video. And in this most recent one, I basically said, I don't think the subreddit is toxic. There is absolutely no chance that the majority behaves like this. I want that to be very apparent, right? There are insane subreddits. As you can see right over here, there is this subreddit, and shoutouts to ReZero Sucks again. I think it's pretty funny. These are the most these are the biggest fans. Let's read the topic right over here. ReZero is a dangerous anime that has caused mass hallucinations and convinced a large fan base that the anime is not only good but objectively a masterpiece. The sub is for the same people to find each other. There definitely are cases when a sub becomes a way more radical and specifically like becomes like a way bigger echo chamber rather than having 2 different like ideologies trying to like have dialogues. And yeah, they do say dissenting opinions are welcome, but there's definitely exceptionals like this, and they are the biggest ReZero fans. All these people talk about ReZero way more than actual ReZero fans. Anyways, we're getting off topic right now. I'm trying to say that I don't think Lord of Mysteries subreddit is this toxic entity that all hates light novel historian. I think that there are always going to be bad faith actors. That's always going to exist, no matter what the fandoms are, because this is not a subreddit problem. This is not a anime series or like webcomic series problem, right? This is not like a ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Lord of Mysteries specific. I've seen this shit happen in every single fandom. No matter where you go, you're always gonna have this behavior happening. You know why? Because this is a species problem. This is a human problem. People who just are maybe their prefrontal lobe hasn't developed enough. You know, they don't have the critical rational thinking skills, and they're not reasonable people. They're just like fucking socially inept schizos that goes on to crash out online. And you shouldn't be putting a magnifying glass on them and say, this is the reality. But I will absolutely farm those people for the sake of content. Anyway, just because you hate someone, it doesn't mean that you have to go to other people and spread about it. Yes, you guys may be right, but this is not how we should do things in here, especially right before the Donghua comes out. I know we love to make jokes here in the community, but seeing the disgusting behavior just saddening, really. Again, I am with this video, the way that this is kind of posted, it may paint a picture that like, oh, you guys need to do better. And I'm sure people who are participants of the subreddits who get, you know, a video clip like this seems kind of, you know, what's the word? Patronizing, right? It's like, what the fuck? I didn't behave like this. But if you didn't behave like this, you shouldn't be getting triggered, right? You shouldn't be getting upset. This is more of, look at this one schizo idiot that's, you know, from your quote unquote subreddit, but they don't represent the subreddit. Let's read some comments. Donghua isn't even out yet, and there's already so much drama. There is no drama. Straight up. Well, I at least not that I'm aware of. At least the videos that I'm farming, that's just all for entertainment, baby. I'm just literally just making shit up. Exactly. I fear the level of corruption they'll spread once the Donghua comes out. Source. Just because you... that's basically the comment we've already seen. You're just going to have to accept the fact that some fans here are immature. Absolutely. And that's going to be the case anywhere. I mean, they're underdeveloped when it comes to emotion and critical thinking. Absolutely true. Going to have to brace myself once more of them arrive once the Donghua comes out. This usually happens when a community becomes bigger. The number of DNAs also becomes apparent. Yes, because again, I always give you the same example, right? 1% may not be a very big number to you. 1% of 100 is just one person. One person being crazy, 99 people being reasonable. But if you scale up that to 1,000, suddenly that 1% becomes 10 people. You scale that up to 10,000, 1% becomes 100 people. Imagine yourself in a room with 100 people that behaves like this, right? Then you can kind of realize that, what the fuck? And the worst part about that is they are the vocal minority. They are the schizo radicals who are going to try to paint narratives and make things seem worse than it actually is. And the silent majority who are the reasonable people, the 99,900 people, right? The 99% who are just chilling. And and social media also is it's so insidious in the way that it encourages rage baiting and negative engagement, right? Anytime you'll heard of this term called one guide. Anytime you watch a streamer, maybe you've heard of the term one guide. What does that mean? It means that maybe there's like 99 positive comments and reasonable people just all vibing. Then one person will show up and say something crazy. And then that streamer will latch onto that one person and then go off a tangent and crash out. One guide. So why does that happen? Because whenever you have 99 positive things, you don't really care about it as much as a negative thing, no matter how frequent the positive thing happens. And I'd say because of how frequent the positive things happens, you are accustomed to that behavior. That is the norm. That is the default. Any comment, any feedback, you're assuming should be positive. And once you've become entitled towards that into that like line of thinking, suddenly one hateful comment will get you so much more upset, and immediately you'll forget about anything positive that happened. And this doesn't only exist from the context of content creators engaging with their audience, but more of just human behavior in a nutshell, right? And that's why on social media, on Twitter, stuff like that, you'll always see discourse happening. And usually the discourse stems from just a stupid, ignorant tweet that is intended to rage bait. And the way that social media is designed, algorithmically, it's in their best interest for you to stay on their platform as long as they can, right? How do you keep people engaged? Do you think positive engagements are going to do it? Sometimes. But most of the case, negative engagements are going to do it, right? It's faster, it's easier, and it gets a much more visceral reaction. That's why, negative engagement is so rewarded online and social media, and it paints a picture that things are actually worse than what it actually is. But my goal is to kind of let you know that, yeah, these schizo retards exist, but that's not really what's going on. Thank you, Anime Gatokubetsusa. What the hell is that name? Regardless, I appreciate the gifted sub, man. Thank you so much, man. Wow, I mean, I would recommend everyone to not watch something that includes spoilers of any kind. I'm not even willing to listen to certain game music before playing. That's pretty sweaty though, right? I think that of all type of people that avoid spoilers to basically not listen to soundtracks in order to avoid spoilers is very sweaty. I consider that spoilers sometimes, but that behavior is not normal. Let's see. As what I can see from the tag/role, it is actually an apprentice. I don't know what's going on. So I think these are Discord tags, right? Basically, Sequence 8 Lunatic and Apprentice are tags given, like flares, like tags, like you kind of like categorize yourself on Reddit, right? Different accounts, and it's kind of showing like how much investments they have in the community. Maybe an Apprentice is like a new person, while a Sequence 8 Lunatic is like a very hardcore veteran of the sub, and it would be very shocking if it was a veteran crashing out like that, right? I think so, right? I'm pretty sure Ka's gonna be farming this too. Absolutely, you are correct. Everything I do here is for entertainment value. This is just reality TV, baby. Now you mention it, he might likely going to do so. You definitely posted this shit fully aware that I'm gonna be farming it. Don't fucking act like you didn't know it, bro. You knew that I'm gonna make a video on this. Though he could farm those character PBs instead. I am gonna keep the character PBs and the trailers untouched until the last couple days, until June 28th. Because I think it's going to be better if I package my content and have every Lord of Mysteries trailer reactions in one and every character PV reactions in one video. I think that those kind of packaging content appeals to a lot more people. After doing content creation for a while, I've realized that like sometimes, like I've tried both, and for sister leveling too. If you're not aware of sister leveling, right? There's basically one of my highest viewed video is a compilation of that. Now, there are other individual skits that I could farm, but if I think that people find something attractive about everything in one videos rather than having all of them in separate videos. Maybe at the end of the day, you would have more views if you farmed all separate videos because of the frequency of how much it happened. But I still think it's best to wait until like June 26th or 25th, do all the Lord of Mysteries trailers in one, all the character PBs in one, and that's how I'm going to farm that shit. Knowing him, he disregard the guy, find his post somehow, and make content out of it. Absolutely, that's what I'm doing right now. Don't underestimate Beyonder from content creator pathway, especially those in the farmer sequence. I keep reading about this. A lot of people keep and some people call me a provoker. This one as well. So I don't know what the context of this is, and obviously these are out of context spoilers, so I don't really care. I think it's actually funny. But where is the video? It's the Nicholas Light crashed out video. This one. And in this video, basically, I saw a comment that didn't make any sense to me, but then I realized, oh, this must be a Lord of Mysteries comment. And right over here, let's see. Bro has talent for farming and rage baiting. Perfect specimen for Provoker sequence. Provoker Kaka. I don't know. But like, it sounds like these sequences, these like categories of different classes are like, I'm thinking like this is like video game shit where in the beginning you have like a nameless class and you're like a beginner, and then you pick like the path of like warrior, thief, mage, you know, stuff like that. And then maybe within those paths too, you have like specific subclasses of like paladin, you know, if it's of the warriors, you have paladin and dragon knight, or like, I don't know, like crusader, stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking, but it's kind of fun to kind of like listen and read these comments and figure out for myself what they could be. Let's see some other ones. I mean, I like Ellen Historian. He hypes up the series and keeps the community active. Just that I won't recommend his videos to any new fan due to how he sometimes casually spoils unintentionally. And yeah, like that is a fact, right? I don't think it's his intent to spoil, but it does happen. I care more about the intent than the actual outcome though. Still hating any person online you don't know IRL is just jobless behavior. Yes, it is literally just unemployed behavior. It's not that deep. There will always be stupid fans. He's one of them. The streamer is literally just making content farming, in my opinion. Yes, I am. Absolutely. I am definitely highlighting this schizo guy and making content out of him for views. It's really that simple. That's literally what's going on here. This comment might be included in his next farming video. Bro is farming on a different level. Yeah, you know I'm farming. I tell you I'm farming. True, I once watched the 15-minute... I one watched a 15-minute video on a 55-second clip. And that's on the low end, bro. I think I made a fucking no. The most egregious one I think recently was, so all of the most recent ones, like this Mushoku Tensei one is kind of crazy because I'm literally, this is off of Ellen Historian's like 59-second clip off of why he won't ever recommend Mushoku Tensei. We already farmed a video off of that, and I think that was where is this? Let's try to find this shit. Yeah, this over here. It was 23 minutes, right? And then after I made a 24-minute basically video off of a minute clip, I then came back a week later and then farmed almost a 50-minute video off of just reading the comments, right? So, and not only that, where's the ReZero drama? Anybody remember the ReZero Echidna drama between Jake and fuck, I upload too many videos. I can't even find the video anymore, bro. Where is this shit? Is this 2 weeks ago? Is this a week ago? But I think if there is a record of like source material to my full length, here it is. 1 hour, 17-minute video, bro. This is a 2-minute video, by the way. This is a fucking 2-minute video Jake made, you know, saying how he's the only real ReZero creator. Goddamn based. And then I responded to that. But basically the entire thing was me having a dialogue, right? It's not like I'm reacting to his video. His video simply exists for context. Then I simply rant and ramble and read the comments. That's where all the, you know, minutes are padded from. But hey, at least he ain't like some other reactors who won't add anything. Yeah, if there's anything that you can say about me, listen, call me a farmer, call me a milker. Those are little comments. Call me a yapper, say that I talk too much. You're literally complimenting me. That is literally what I strive to be, the ultimate yapper, bro. But don't you ever fucking say that I steal content and I'm like a lazy reactor. No. I pretty much minimum double the content, if not triple, based off the source material. Bro is obviously trying to digest this lunatic potion, but seriously, there will always be crazy people in a fandom. Absolutely. Most of the people are here chill though. I give the benefit of the doubt that they are. I mean, every fandom has those people that give it a really bad name. Unfortunately, they exist here too. Absolutely. And I think that I don't like being like a moral police or, you know, trying to, like, I don't like giving rules. Like, I obviously within my own stream and my own community, I'll have rules that I'll moderate, and even then those are pretty simple rules. But like, I don't like being like a moral cop and being like, oh, this is a bad thing, oh, this is a good thing. But I think it is in the best interest of communities, not even just like subreddits, but at the end of the day, to be able to like what's the word, filter out the schizos so that you don't look bad. No matter what, you're always gonna have these schizos in there. But at the very least, you can have a culture that promotes or actually dissuades that kind of behavior. And just as I'm talking about moderations and rules, chat, did he do season finale? And the reason that I'm bringing this video up here is to highlight you that the average person is retarded. What am I talking about right now? What is he talking about? Well, today I made a video on the second channel. Shoutouts to Kaka TV 2, by the way. Second channel exists for Ben 10 and stuff, just in case you didn't even know. And in this video, I basically have an announcement video telling people, hey, listen, we're going to be watching the 2-part finale today, at least the first part. And within 10 seconds of it, there is literally a rule. In fact, you don't even need to watch this video, bro. Before you type in my chat, a rule box pops up. And what's the only rule? In fact, it's literally the first thing you see when you see the homepage of my Twitch stream. What does it say? Right over here. Don't ask for a schedule or when/if we've watched something. I told you that I put you in timeout, bro. This is your first message here. You came in with first message completely ignoring what the fuck even happened with the warning signs. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What is with the attitude? Canadians are disgusting. So this gives me a good reason to just permanently ban you. See, I was just going to put you in a timeout, but now you are just whining and complaining, and you're just somehow calling Canadians disgusting because you yourselves were not able to listen to the rule set. It doesn't matter if you're asking me or the chat. It literally says don't fucking ask. So thank you. I'm just going to permanently ban you right here. What a stupid fucking retard. It has no sense of accountability. Absolutely no sense of accountability. Breaks the rules. Been plenty warned. Doesn't take, doesn't say, oh, my bad, bro. I was just too excited. I came in here with good intentions. I probably would have let you go. But then you crash out and says Canadians are disgusting. What an actual fucking retard. But let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. I swear, I said as long as some dumb fans doesn't obviously point out the spoilers, it's going to be completely fine. But here you are, Lamau. Honestly, it seems like the same kind of situation as what the Lord of the Mysteries is, an isekai drama. There is no isekai drama. I'm literally just making content out of this shit, and you guys are basically treating it like drama if it is. Dumb people for real. I really wish people would stop harassing Ellen Historian. He's the entire reason I got into Lord of Mysteries. This is something I've heard time after time, actually. A lot of people are like, man, I don't even know why people hate this guy. But it's probably like new people finally finding his content and being like, this is the guy that has introduced me into, Lord of Mysteries. So that's always good. I'm not going to watch the video since I haven't finished Lord of Mysteries yet. I don't understand his people. Let's see. Anything else? Can someone explain briefly what happened? Honestly, don't worry. This is such it's so, what's the word? This is like this is the unemployed Super Bowl right now. Almost everyone here is chill. Glad to see that the comments under this post is like, yeah, you guys are very chill. Like, again, I'm not condemning this subreddit. There's just gonna be a schizo always, man. There's always some bad apples, and there's even going to be more when the community grows. Exactly. And the bigger you get. But as Kaz said, that's not how the way to communicate it. I have some critique on how he did label that. This is talking about the spoilers, right? About, the video itself. Anything else? I don't understand this level of obsession. Going to someone's stream for the first time and randomly start spreading hate about another content creator. Just move on with your day, dude. Bro was acting like he has some generational beef with Ellen Historian. I'll do a little bit of armchair psychology. I actually love doing stuff like this. So there are usually these people are just complete losers in life. The fulfilled and happy person who has, good, deep, fulfilling relationships, friends, family, love interest, hobbies, career fulfillment, whatever, they don't go to YouTube comment section or subreddits and complain and cry. These are the most unemployed, literally, how people say just get a job, put the fries in the bag, or this is unemployed behavior. There's a reason why people say that, because most people have too much responsibilities in their day-to-day life that they don't even have time to get upset at stuff like this, right? Only people who are the most chronically online, who spend all their days because they have no responsibilities, they're either children, again, who are probably in school, who have no jobs or anything, or they're absolute fucking losers who are probably in their late 20s or even early 30s, who have no job, just living at their parents' basements, bro. And there's nothing wrong with living with your parents and taking care of them and having, some sort of savings because you don't have to pay egregious rent. But there's a lot of people in this type of situations where they are literally fucking losers. They have all the time in their lives and they absolutely hate their lives. They hate the position that they're in, and they try to basically use video games or watch different shows as a method of escapism, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I watch anime for a sense of escapism too. But if that's the only thing that you do, sometimes you start to have these parasocial relationships, especially with content creators too. And I've seen so many times these pipelines of people who claim to be fans, but then later on something happened. Maybe they didn't agree with the fan, or they didn't, they said something that pissed off the fan, and then suddenly they turn against them. There's a lot of these weird parasocial unemployed losers who spend in their entire lives basically fighting this war online because they have no responsibilities. It literally just boils down to that. People with too much free time who think that they're self-important, who engages on online drama because they have no sense of fulfillment, and at the very least, rage baiting will give them the attention that no one gives them. It really is that simple. It's farming time? Absolutely. This whole situation feels cringe, to be honest. I doubt this is the first time this content creator met an annoying fan, and it's obviously not going to be the last. There are bad apples in every fandom, so just ignore people like this or block them and move on. Oh well. He's probably cliff farming, trying to lengthen the video in the end. Yes, I told you, I'm literally farming this guy. In fact, in the beginning, I said, oh, a comment. Thank you for the content. I'm going to make a video about you, bro. It's not that deep. But this guy, I can already tell he's a loser. Why? Because the comment is at the very bottom. He's already getting downvoted. It's a whole ass essay. And the attitude that I'm reading off of this is very negative. All I'm doing is making entertainment content, making fun of these losers. Why are you defending this guy? because they come from, they basically approach this in a different angle of, oh, this guy's content farming. He's making money, making a bigger situation than it actually is. If you actually watch the video, you'd know that I literally say this does not represent the actual fandom. This is an insane schizo retard, and you know, it's not a big deal. But a lot of people get really upset. They're very jealous of content creators. And to you, OP, you're giving this way too much importance. A fraction of a fraction being annoying is not going to destroy the fandom. As one of the people is in the Reverend Insanity fandom, we have a way more annoying, edgy people there. Yeah, I don't even have to read this shit, bro. I don't even have to read this shit. Why? Like, this comes to, like, you guys can read it yourselves, but let me just guess, right? It's basically like, oh, I hate the way this guy is content farming. He is a disingenuous person. How dare he make a video, you know, highlighting this one schizo? Oh my god, it's not that big of a fucking deal. This is the reason why content creators are bad. Yeah, this is some unemployed fucking behavior. Oh, here's a nice little comment. I'm Taiwanese, not practicing English for a long time. You watch reaction video 2 years? Well, Steven, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. Just more Lord of Mysteries farms without actually watching Lord of Mysteries. I wonder how much more I can farm Lord of Mysteries without actually covering Lord of Mysteries. But it is really fun, I'm not gonna lie. Doing all this like off-season, pre-season, like basically before we get into June 28th to make some noise and try to get people aware of these different communities and fandoms and get people talk about Lord of Mysteries. And listen, this just beginning, man. Like, I'm gonna, like, we gotta watch that video. We actually have to watch the Ellen in a Historian's video about that. That's probably gonna be one of the next couple of videos that I'll be releasing. But that's it from me. Check out the Lord. Actually, I would say don't check out Lord of Mysteries subreddit if you are anime only, because there's no way you can avoid spoilers. But hey, this subreddit exists for people who are Lord of Mysteries fans who want to engage with it. Please go check them out. See you next time.